Look, it's just a matter of looking at the charts of each group and each team.
What do you mean?
It's the perfect time to bet. Haven't you realized that we are third place of the group? Yes, and that means that we have 66% chances to qualify. Even more, because the matches from tomorrow and the day after tomorrow will determine if we're in or out.
Win-win. So it's interesting how some of this dialogue relates so much to conversations I've had recently about the election. For some reason, I thought that they were talking about, and I realized no, they're talking about soccer or football, I guess. I like how optimistic this one character is. His energy really shifts everyone else's, but you have this complete opposite energy coming from the other character, which creates this really great conflict between the two. I like the cinematography with the camera spins around the table. I like the set design, choosing to have a conversation about deciding to bet on a team while we're also playing a game based off betting. I thought was a very clever touch.
This was an interesting piece. I think it started with a great idea for explaining the statistically how this win-win would work, and then it's set around a table, which the table itself felt busy and sort of it felt very dressed with the tipped over bottles, and everything outside the table felt sort of clean and put together and sparse, and then the table felt really felt staged. And then just talking about the props on there, the dialogue, it served the purpose, but at times felt a little bit stilted, maybe with some of the deliveries. But overall, I thought it was a charming piece. It was a sweet piece. Um, there's obviously a clear message there, which comes across really well, and overall, really well done. The camera movement at times felt good, but also sometimes a little excessive with the rotating around, especially because of focus racking. But I get it, because sitting around at a table can get very stale. But not this one. They had a good. Engaging conversation going back and forth. So I think part of me would have just preferred just static cameras, maybe some slight movement, but yeah, just because again the story was there, we get the concept, and everything else was sort of superfluous. But overall, yeah, it was a cool one, enjoyable one, and you almost kind of want to see where it would go next. Really well done.
Win Win opens with a silent, tense poker scene, drawing you into an atmosphere thick with unspoken stakes. The story revolves around a casual yet loaded conversation among four friends at the table, touching on topics like football but hinting it seems at much larger social issues. There's an intriguing undercurrent here, a subtle commentary on the state of the country, woven through their banter and pauses, which gives the film a layered, thought-provoking quality. While the setup is clever, using a simple conversation as a microcosm for deeper issues, the editing could have leaned into a sharper rhythm to sustain attention at times. At times it could use more dynamic pacing to really emphasize the shifts in tone and tension, with more tan punch to keep things engaging. But ultimately, though, Win-Win leaves some ambiguity that may not land for everyone. The ending lacks, for me, a very clear resolution. So while it's a strong concept, the message might feel a little elusive. But it is a thought-provoking watch that definitely sparks discussion and leaves you wondering, which is great. You want to keep thinking after the credits roll. I did enjoy watching it, and I felt very, very engaged, very intrigued.
This film was called Win-Win. This was an intelligent short. Although it was only a few minutes in duration, it was able to present a character arguing his many points in a logical way. The main character moved from despondency to excitement when he realized his betting idea could work. I liked the pace of the film. As the main character laid out his plan, the film allowed for long silences as the other characters considered his proposal. The camera work was also excellent in this one. I enjoyed how the camera circled the poker table as the various ideas were presented to the group. The opening shot of cigarettes, beer bottles, and poker chips was very effective to set the tone of the competition. I would love to see this film in a feature to see how their venture turns out. Great job.